All right, trying to get back, and I don't want to dig in this guy, but so my old boss, well, this is my boss's boss, but when I got involved with litigation work, I reported directly to him, and I was his lead fact-finding witness on a number of multi-$100 million projects, and probably a dozen in all. And because of him, I had a resume. And because of him, that I had the experience that I did. And trust me, it got to a point where after I had left CTL, that I rode the coattails of this guy on my resume, because if it weren't for him, let's call it like it is. That was when my head blew up. This was a little thing at PCI. Again, great position of authority and everything else, but I didn't last. September, I was out the door by January. But CTL, that was Dr. Corley, Waco. Let's go a little bit closer. Worked on the Branch Davidian, which wasn't engineering at all. It was, oh my God, it was terrible. But I'm just briefly, that was Dr. Corley, Air Force Base, Rapid City. That brand new housing for the base, and they're all terrible construction, but because of him. Los Angeles earthquake damage of the county buildings for the city of Los Angeles. City of San Francisco. Well, actually, this was Bill Chahansky on the Seattle office. So Dr. Corley wasn't, I think this was a different one. Dr. Corley didn't have anything to do with that. Amtrak, that was Dr. Corley. Amtrak bridge collapse in Mobile. And again, what's kind of ironic is the less technical the litigation was, the more Dr. Corley used me. And there's probably an interesting reason for that. Because I could paint the picture. Let me put it this way. I could get the camera to talk my language, or was it? Whatever. But I could tell the story through the camera. And Dr. Corley, I think, liked that, where he goes, just get me the facts, because I have to tell the story. And what was interesting about Dr. Corley is that you never knew where he was coming from. You go out to, let's say, take the Amtrak collapse. Let's do this real quick. It's all good. We're coming back, but this will keep you going. Okay. And I want to scoot on a little bit because of that, but you gotta give respect to those who lied or died, but I got called. I was in Spokane. They said, can you get down to Mobile? So I was flying all over the United. I was in Spokane on the same trip, and then Hawaii, and then New York, but it was like, can you get down to Mobile? I said, absolutely. So I went down to Mobile. This was about 3 weeks after the accident. So, and CTL got hired on like a week afterwards. And, you know, it's when the teams, the different opposing sides are getting teamed up, and time on the site is allowed by the FBI and FEMA and all the different government agencies that secure the site until kind of get a better idea of what's going on. And when CTL was allowed permission to get access to the site to do whatever testing, they could do was when they called me, I said, absolutely. So I went down there, and none of this was there when I was there. So let that be clear. But oh my God, the photos were there. Anyway, the other reason I'm showing this is that was the site, and all the wreckage from the bridge, was hauled off to a storage area. So yeah, climb through all these, and it was as gruesome as you can imagine. And you find out about the horrible side of people because, I take all my photos, I go to the photo place in Mobile, and they go, oh, I see that you're here looking at all the crash site. I said, yeah. They go, I tell you, I lost faith in humanity because we stopped developing photos because of all the people that were going out there taking pictures of the bodies. And then other people, I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, people that survived were just taking pictures, and if selfies and stuff, if selfie sticks were involved, oh, Lord help those people. Anyway, that was a little tangent. So yeah, I became real familiar with what all this was. But imagine all this steel gets all put up into a scrap yard. They secured off the site to put all the wreckage. And then the train cars went to another place that we could go through them, and there's just some things you don't want to do. And the guys in the lead loco, just to give you a quick synopsis, because that's probably important. Hold on, let me get set up, and hold on. Okay, I don't want to go to Google Earth because I don't want to stay here very long. But here's Mobile, about 8 miles, 7 miles this way. The train was coming this way and, going this direction. And barges were coming up the wrong way in the canal. Oh, wait a minute. Am I turned around? No, the barges were coming up like this. That was it. So yeah, same thing. But the barges were coming up, and they should have gone that way. And it was foggy and everything else, and they ended up getting pushed this way. And they got pushed into the bridge and knocked it off its pedestal. And you know what? See, that's why I got to do the aerial. It's upside down. Because Mobile is this way, and the train was coming this way. Oh, for God's sake. Hold on. Oh, for you that are interested in the directed energy weapon for 9/11, go to Brookhaven Institute. There's your little battery for that whole thing. So I was hoping to get Mobile in the site. So you saw where Mobile was. I just don't want to get to the point it was right. He wasn't there. That's not the way it's set up, and I've just got to get it right. So it's actually not. So there's Mobile. It's like, Saraland, what? Okay. So Mobile, the train was coming out. It was like 3 in the morning. It was like 10 minutes late. All the coincidences. Ugh. But it's flying up here. It's going 70 miles an hour. And the barges were supposed to go up this way, and they ended up going up this way. And so again, Mobile's over this way, and they're all coming this way. So the barge knocked the bridge off its pedestal, and as soon as the lead loco went, hit the steel girders and did a trajectory all the way across and buried itself. We'll go up close. But there are 3 guys in the lead loco that got buried in 60 feet of mud. So the lead loco went flying, did a projectile. The second one spun around, and then the third one went way off to the side. and then the baggage cart, and that was a passenger cart, and then that's where most of the fatalities were, because that's the only portion of the car that's above water. So you get the gist of it, and then this one stopped short, and there were, 3 or 4 or 5 others. So that's the gist of the setup. So when we got down there, the point being is all the trash at the site. And Dr. Corley would come out to the site and go, I want a picture of the USGS plat on the concrete, and he'd give me a laundry list of things that he wanted. And I would have no idea why he wanted them. And the point being, 20 minutes ago when I started the point, was Dr. Corley had in his mind what he wanted to say in court. And I was one of the few guys that, unopposed, I did exactly what he wanted, because it was challenging to get most of the things he wanted, because one, the person wouldn't understand why he wanted it. It'd be something that had nothing to do, or at least in our minds, it had nothing to do with them. And we didn't know what was going on in his little genius brain, but he did. And that's why I think we got along so much, was I could understand that he wanted something for a reason, and then come hell high water, I would get that for him. So I don't know if that came out right, but yeah, I was a lapdog and proud of it, because we got along swimmingly. But they were not technical issues that we were chasing. But he had the story in the back of his mind. And I thank God that I wasn't with him for 9/11. I don't think anyone from CTL went with him. In fact, I'm pretty sure they didn't, because that's when he's just an independent consultant for basically the world. I mean, he's the world ambassador for concrete, for crying out loud. He's on TV all the time. PBS had a thing on him. Oh, my God. It's like, I know that guy. I know what his office smells like. His office had a unique smell. Not bad, not good. It just had a unique smell. Kind of that Brill cream and stuff. But, probably like, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's kind of like what Ronald Reagan's dressing room smelled like. That came out weird. No, he put stuff in his hair. Now I gotta qualify this. Oh, can you hear the whir of backpedaling? Hold on. Hold on. Where's Dr. Corley? Oh, you're over here, buddy. Yeah, he had something going on and get that good thing going. I don't know why, it's not about saying bad things. But if I had known what I know now then, I don't know. And when I found out he passed in 2013, and I found out probably 2 or 3 years after that. And I don't doubt people tried to call me and let me know about this, but I disappeared from those people. But, oh my God, did this guy have war stories? And I just wanted 2 minutes. This guy was in a RICO, one of the biggest RICO cases in Chicago history. And he had supposedly the mob after him. But then I'm kind of wondering that the guy was into the war stories. I don't doubt that. And he knows it. But I'm just wondering if there's a little bit more going on for him to be so connected in these things. Because he did 9/11. He did the Federal Murrah building. And so I don't know. What I don't know, I'm not going to speculate. We'll leave it at that. But, and that was an abrupt but. See, America's Radio interviewed the guy. The point being, for a lot of this is, so I had left CTL. We crossed paths only one other time. And wait right there, I'll be right back. So this was the show in Chicago when I was showing the illustrations from the yacht racing. This is Sam. He's boating shots. He was the skipper on Raven that I was crewing on. And we were in the America's Cup and all. That's another video. Anyway, I was at this show, but it was actually the year after when I ran into Dr. Corley, because Dr. Corley had a sailboat and everything. And I was at the show. I'm trying to think of a better picture. Nah, I'm just whatever. Blah, 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 blah. I don't think I have a better picture. No. Anyway, so these are the illustrations that probably have already seen. Oh, talking about prophetic boat names. I was on Foley and Rebound and Raven, and guess what Mickey's boat name was? Wait for it. Wait for it. Decoy. Oh my gosh. Can you make this stuff up? So yeah, that's a picture of Decoy. You call him DK and all this everything else. So, but anyway, Dr. Corley. So I was at this show the following year, and all of a sudden this guy comes wandering up, and the person I was with, I'll do it with this person. The person that was at the booth with me, I looked over at them, and there was this girl. She was a journalist student, and she was getting into sailing. I did a bunch of illustrations for them. But anyway, I turned to her. I go, you see that guy right there? That's Dr. Corley. She just looked at me like, what? I go, that's Dr. Corley. He's one of the most renowned structural engineers in the world. Guy's on the news and, international. And at that time I knew about, his involvement with 9/11. And Dr. Corley does one of those, looks over at the booth, sees me, starts to walk away. Not like I'm going to avoid that guy, but he did one of those where, God, I recognize that guy, but I just can't place him. Tells you how tight we were. And he looks at me, and he comes up, and then we got the eye lock going on. And so he's committed because he's just a personal guy. And he came over, and you knew he had no idea who what my name was or who I was. But it's like when you see your person that cuts your hair at the grocery store. Oh, I know your face, but I'm not sure where because it's totally out of place. And that's the way he looked at me, and he came over. I go, Dr. Corley, it's Brian, because I just assume no one remembers me. And Dr. Corley came over, and he goes, oh, sure, I know who you are. And he's like, no, you didn't know who I was. I had to tell you who I was. Because we think he was kind of getting funny toward the end. But I'm not going to go there, as I just did. But anyway, he came over. I go, Dr. Corley, I just, he goes, oh, oh yeah, so how's it going? And then he just kind of fell into his little routine. I go, yeah, that 9/11 stuff. He goes, oh yeah, you never, and trying to think exactly what he said, but he goes, it's amazing, it's just amazing what can happen. Or words to that effect of, boy, you just don't realize how bad it could have been. And I was like, yeah, I can imagine. But that was it. And he wandered on. He goes, well, good seeing you and all that good stuff is any politician. He's the ambassador of concrete. And he walked away. And the reason I look like I'm about 10 pounds, 20 pounds over my fighting weight, this was this weekend, not the one I saw Corley at the year later, but this one, when I had my wheelie dealie here, this was the Sunday of the Bears being in the Super Bowl, which was the coldest night of the year and the coldest period in Chicago. Oh, hold on. Here's a story. We gotta stay here and check out the car damage because this is worth 5 minutes. Hold on. So when I said it was cold that day, I thought, Shirley. I looked over at Shirley and she looked at me and I go, Shirley, there's gotta be weather reports for that day in Chicago. And Shirley said, surely there are. I go, my name's not Shirley. And Shirley was right. So Chicago, February 4th, Super Bowl Sunday. I'm at the little show at the McCormick Place. Or not McCormick Place, Brian. Oh, for crying out loud. Oh, Navy Pier. Oh, good grief, Brian. Navy Pier. So we've got this show. I put all my money, all my savings, get posters. This is the one big weekend I can make or break. I make or break this weekend. And I put this is when I know about Mix Affair, and I've got all this stuff. We're running out of money. It's winter. It's a cold winter. So I go to Chicago. I limp in there in the van. She's back in Pentwater doing God knows what. Comes up with Greg and company. I knew about them, and I knew about them. But anyway, I didn't care. This is my make or break weekend. So not only is it the coldest weather that Chicago's getting, the Bears are in the Super Bowl that weekend. So on Sunday, February 4th, it's closing of the show. We go in, my car breaks down, I get frozen out. The show's wrapping up. Okay, not even at the whole story where it's a disaster. No one shows up. It's the cold weekend. There's usually a big party at the Columbia Yacht Club because of, this is the big party in the middle of winter, strictly sale, that everyone shows up and, kind of that woohoo party in the winter. And you see people as like, I've never seen you with clothes on, meaning shorts and tan and everything else. So everyone shows up at this thing, but not this year because not only is it cold, the Bears are in the Super Bowl. So the whole week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, nothing. Hardly anyone shows up. Sunday, it's time to get the hell out of there, is a complete disaster. I sold maybe 50 posters at $20 a pop. So I remember giving Mick $800 is all I remember. And I was giving stuff away. But it's my make or break, and it's going to break. But look at the weather. This is Sunday. Oh, it was cold. Well, Shirley, how cold? Wind was 14, up to gust 22, 25. Clear day, I remember that. But let's look at the temperatures. And you know where this is going. Wind, barometric. What was the pressure like? There's 0. We were just around -6. And then 0. And then it was like, time to wrap up. We're going to close 3 hours early. But the Scout is on the other side of town, and I don't have a vehicle to put all my crap into. Gotta wrap up. Super Bowl, the union's breaking down. Show's closing early. No. And goes below 0 degrees. Oh, my God. I had to go over, find someone. Thank God, Timmy, I'll think of the last name, but Sam's roommate that had a van. I threw all his stuff in the van and got out of there. I'm exhausted. Mick goes, I'm out of here. I'm back to Chicago because we got into it where it turned out the hose broke on I keep saying Scout. It was the Jeep. We had an old 95 Jeep that she put a deer through the front. No, she put a guardrail through the front. I put the deer through the other one. And how do you get those two stories confused? It's real easy. It's called the previous 45 years, whatever. But anyway, so I'm scrambling around, finally get this guy's van off, get all my crap into the van. Oh God, the Jeep's on the other side of town. Sam goes, well, what do you want to do? You want to come to the Super Bowl party? Okay. Deal with it tomorrow, whatever. So we go to a little Super Bowl party, but I'm just beat after this just awful weekend. Talk about the big hype, kind of like the Bears in the Super Bowl. It's like, oh, you got to the championship game, didn't you? Yeah. Did you win? No, didn't even show up to play. Oh, my God. But I say, oh, it was cold that weekend. How cold? Well, 11 o'clock, 0 degrees, and then at 3 o'clock, back down to sub-zero. Not even the wind chill. Good wind speeds 20. Oh, it was so windy. Oh no, going up. You know, this is in knots and it's metric. That's like 60 miles an hour. Surely? But, oh my God, that was a disaster. Oh. And you think that you've got control of their life? Nah. Just ask Shirley. All right, hold on. Yeah, I can't let this one go. So I built all this little framing I brought in the Jeep. And I put this together and the union, this is 12 foot, this is 8. These things were 12 foot. Because I got one that has everything. Look at that. That's 8 foot. There's your 8 foot. Do I do... This is Proud Mary. We're going to do the first part of it soft and easy. Then we're going to do the back half rough, the way we like it. So I built all this, was constructing it when we first got there, and the union guy comes over. He goes, "You can't build that." I go, hubba, what? He goes, "You can't build that. You have to use union." I go, "I'm not using a union." He goes, "Yeah, you are. You signed a contract." Long story short, we had to hire a union guy to stand over us to watch us build this and put in like 8 screws. No exaggeration. And because we had a battery-powered drill. And that was considered that a union violation. So unless I did it by hand, I had to have a union guy stand over me. Well, that was fine on Thursday when they held me hostage. Until I said, okay, but not on Sunday. The rep came over and he's writing that little card saying, "You're never coming back here." So, he's giving, I said, I don't care. I've got bigger problems than having a union guy pissed off at me. And how prophetic was that it was the next, or that fall when Mick's father, the union press, got back at me. Oh my God, people, just listen to the whole story. But I just said, the hell with you guys. I'm taking this thing down. You don't like it, you haul me out of here. Because you're having a bad day. You better make it worth your while to arrest me and everything else, because I don't care. So I had to break this thing down. This is the thing with... Oh, we got to go closer. Oop, we do it over here. And you talk about getting the little kiss of almost fame. Staging. See, I'm on the other side of this wall, and I'd hear people go by, and you could hear them stop, and you hear the brochures you guys have seen, and they go, "Oh, that's all computer." And I'm on the other side of this wall going, no, it's not. It's hand-drawn. Psycho fact number 1. These are hand-drawn. Because I hate... Oh, I got to stop for a second. And okay. I had to go make some more coffee, but it's like, I don't think I need any more coffee. It's like... And I don't drink decaf, so it's like, oh, I just need to regroup a little bit. So I would sit on the other side of the wall, and I hate talking in public about my stuff. I just do. And people would come by. Let me see if I do this. Oh, cool. So I would sit here and go, no, I know the guy who did it. I'm just doing a favor for him. And yeah, he's this weird guy that lives in Colorado. And yeah, that makes sense to people that have been following so far. And I go, but, you know, I'm just helping him out. And yeah, they're real neat drawings. And so I could be this other person to talk about my stuff, but not be the guy saying, hey, you like the stuff I did? And these people are like, yeah, it's kind of cool, but, you know, not today. That's okay. This is Steve. I didn't know. It's talking about the Harley. Oh, that's Steve. I didn't know Steve was in that. Oh, this is the greatest guy. You talk about cool? No, this guy makes cool. Like, if you could manufacture cool, this guy would be the CEO. He really would. This guy was just, and he gave me the time of day, which was kind of weird, because he just looked at me like, you know, you're just such a goofball. Just relax. And I didn't know that was Steve. Oh, that's priceless. Anyway, so yeah, Foley was a deadhead boat and a Harley boat, and I can prove that. Not this way. I can prove that because this drawing, wow, look at the image. Wow, this is just a little camera. That's the picture I did of Foley, and there's the battle flag. They had the Grateful Dead thing. And, yeah. And as it turns out, that Mick was a deadhead. And she went to over 83 or 87 concerts. She was such a deadhead. Imagine that. Stage Inc. I know that guy. Oh, that's Steve. Oh, yeah, now I gotta add him later on. But, oh, Steve and, oh my God, I know her name. I mean, this would be the proverbial bachelor, and he got together with this other gal who's fun at Scout, and I can't believe I can't remember her name. It'll come to me. But they got married. It's like, this guy never dated or never, you know, you never hear about girlfriend or anything, and all of a sudden, yeah, going on so-and-so, they got married, and then like a year later, they had a kid, and it's just like, oh, that's cool. Perfect. But anyway, oh, that's so funny. That's Steve. But yeah, oh, just such a cool guy. He was. We went to L.R. Burnside. Guy was 80 years old at the time. And then the Mississippi All-Stars at Rock Cafe. He's just so funny. Because I'm just like the little, you know, the yappy dog around the cool guy. It's like, Steve called me up and goes, hey, do you want to go see soda? And I go, absolutely. So yeah, this guy was just so cool. And he did foredeck. This guy did foredeck on the boat. Oh, and he and John were good friends. John was cool beyond cool, you know, cool in a weird, different way, but oh my God, this guy did foredeck and he was stellar. Oh God, that was worth knowing. Anyway, I don't even know where I was going. Oh, so I'd sit on this side. Oh God, that's just so funny. I was just thinking about him this morning and I go, I won't have, there's no way. I don't even know his last name. I gotta think of his girl. Anyway, so I'd sit back here. Squirrel, 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 squirrel. Armadillo in the road. All right. And so I just talk to people and say, yeah, I know the guy, and it's like that. And I'd say, no, they're hand-drawn. I know the guy, they're hand-drawn, but I'd be on this side, and on the other side of the wall, you could hear people talk about these things. And I would get up, and as it turned out, Mickey went around telling people he says they're hand-drawn, they're not, they're computer. So then all of a sudden it was like all these people that thought they, knew something about me, that I'm lying about these. Oh, it's dark, people. But I can prove you 1,000,000 times over that they're hand-drawn. Anyway, back to this story. Oh, no. Hold on. Oh, I thought I lost all the recording. Talking about close to stardom. And I can prove I never sold my soul to the devil, because if I did, I want my money back. Not a joke. It's not a joke. So Mount Gay Rum liked this. And Mount Gay Rum is kind of the official sponsor of offshore racing around the world. So my little close to fame was they were interested in the images. This sold their hats because every person that does races knows it's all about the red hat. And there's a little Mount Gay emblem on one of these, and this is from the Mac race. And Sam made a 2-foot by 3-foot image and displayed, and they were going to look into using the images, and I wanted to go to races around the world to not only take pictures of the event for future posters. That was what I thought, oh, would that be great? Then you have the house in Pentwater, you got the 3 dogs, you got the job the job at Terracon was not in the forecast because this was a failure. The job with Terracon came up. But I thought the time where I don't care about Mick. It's like, I got racing, I got the dogs, I got the house. I didn't know what was going to happen with Mick. I mean, I wasn't talking about divorce or anything. It was just like, oh, crap, there's an issue I don't want to deal with. But, so I was like, oh, my gosh, so that's a little hand-drawn thing. Not to be. So they had a meeting out in New York. I can't remember if Sam went to it or he had the connections. Man, that guy was connected. He's an ex-Arthur Anderson accountant. Another one of your fun accountants. I tell you, those guys are sneaky little devils. Larry of Foley was an accountant. Isn't an accountant. But anyway, not here nor there. But, wow. Then, yeah, here's the Pentwater. The Mac. Here's the Pentwater one. I had that full size. 24 by 30. No, 20 by 34? Or 28 by 42 was the original. It was huge. Had it framed, and hopefully it's still at the Pentwater Yacht Club. But that was... I gave him a bunch of posters. Nothing happened to it. Oh, anyway. But then this was, sign up and put your boat in there and have your cruise sign. And, oh, man. So I had all these made up. But and this is, have your image and then have your boat crew sign it. Wouldn't that be great for your boat? Then all these were like Adam West and... These were all Hollywood people. And Richard Nixon was on there, but I had all these autographs. Just give people the idea of what to do. Denali was thinking. Then you have the race that the photo was taken from. And that was the thing with boating shots. Boating shots, that was Sam's company that they'd hired the helicopter pilot and take pictures of these big races. Commissioned images. Boom. Good. So yeah, this was because I got tired of people saying, yeah, it's all computerized stuff these days. No, it's not. It's my fact number one. Oh, people. So, yeah. Oh, I have another shot. Oh my gosh, I might have more. So yeah, we got in trouble because we were by a fire hose. It was like, come on. Got to keep your distance, but we paid for the booth up to... No, we don't care. You can't have the booth by the fire hose. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. And we paid $800? So between Sam and I, this was a 10 by 20 booth or a 10 by 10? I can't remember. Well, you can probably tell. Hold on. That was a 10 by 20. It had to have been. But this is how far back it went. This gal was from a different yacht. Oh, no. She was a friend of Sam's. Because Sam had the Boating Shots calendar. This is all his stuff from the calendar. But I used his printer for all that other stuff. She was kind of a goofball, but... There's Steve. I cannot believe I never knew that was Steve. I never knew I had this picture. It was on this old file. See, I've got that draggy finger, and I guess I pull files in. But now I've learned to just kind of think of the name of that file, and I'm finding all these things. Oh, everybody wins. But, oh my God, that's too funny. Foredeck. Oh my God, I used to always joke, yeah, the boat's all buried under. He goes, did we win? Did we not win? Prima Donna was the boat he raced on out of Michigan City. His father was a to-do guy in Chicago. And I'd say connections, but that would come out wrong, but maybe not. But he was, oh, talk about your bratwurst loving, beer drinking, but not drunk by any means. He loved his Amstel and his Anchor Steam. That's how cool. Guy introduced everyone to Anchor Steam. What's Anchor Steam? Just try it. Just shut up. You're not cool. Okay, Sparky. That's my Sparky look. Oh my God. She goes, oh, I can't stand next to this guy. Where's cool? There's no cool here. But yeah, there's Foley, Decoy, then another thing with the boat autographs and stuff. Oh my God. What else do we have in here? There's the brochure. Oh my God, what else is here? But yeah, there's the brochure. I know that guy. What else? What else? Oh, the Michigan. So can we see, I think one of these you can see. One of these you can see in the corner. Oh, we can even do it this way. Yeah, that's computer generated. Show me your dot matrices. Show me your dot matrix. Well, it's generated from pixels. You don't get that to be on a computer generating unless I put in one dot at a time. Get out of here. Computer generated. Show me the computer file that does that. So yeah, that's the little, what do they call it? Pointillism. Wow, I'm getting a lot done on these little offshoots. There's Raven, so that's Raven, that's me, you guys know that. I was trying to find on the corner of these is where, there's Wally, there's the tall skinny guy. But man, could that guy grind away at the little thing that goes spins that you pull the rope in on. Anyway, now we're going further away from where I want. Oh, that's a picture from the Jill flight. It's all connected somehow. It's all connected somehow. You know, yeah, there's the Pentwater thing. Oh, all right, I don't want to go this far into it. Hold on. Oh, I might as well. This is the end of the tape, but yeah, so I've got that whole thing to go over yet, which I haven't done. Got all the Houston. Well, there's not a whole lot there. It's just a bunch of humans. Bunch of Houston images. Bunch of images from Houston. Going to that now. But this was the other Harry's poster. Let's take a quick look at this. That's a terrible thing. But this was another Harry's thing. And then there's a little thing that said, "Hail, hail to Old Purdue," or nowhere better. But you can't see it on this one. It said, "bar none." Then here you got a little nun habit. See, get it? Bar none. Okay. Then this image, this is the picture, original Harry's poster, but this is a terrible image. Anyway, got that. Got the engineering stuff we got to go over. Oh my God. And then Chicago images, just like Houston images. And we're back to this. Oh, this guy was a character. Oh my gosh. But, you know, that was that. Okay, I got to go. Ugh. Did I? Ugh.